Ah, the 151 Pokemon. It was a simpler time, full of simpler pleasures, where a Game Boy was tiny and the screen was full of diluted color. A time where getting a badge meant something, and you didn't have to take care of your Pokemon 24/7 or make sure they liked you. It was a time when we cared about this character right here, Ash Ketchum, or Satoshi in the original Japanese anime. It was a time when we thought that the most powerful Pokemon was a character named Mewtwo. Okay, that's good enough for a monologue for me. And also, I have no ill will against the new Pokemon. Let me say that right now. I have no ill will against the new Pokemon. In fact, I actually kind of like the new Pokemon series. I haven't been playing it often. I just kind of played one version because I borrowed it off my friend because I'm a poor prick. And I'm really a poor bastard, so I kind of borrowed it from a buddy of mine. I played it, and I thought this was one of the coolest Pokemon games frickin' ever. But you can't disrespect Pokemon Blue version, man. You can't disrespect Red version. Oh man, you cannot. You cannot disrespect the classics, man. And also I mean no disrespect to the new Pokemon. Boom, Pokemon XY, got your back. So yes, I'm not shitting on the new versions of Pokemon from that monologue. But anyway, enough about me telling everyone that the new Pokemon does not suck. In fact, it is awesome. That's not me plugging that. Let's talk about welcome to the segment Zilla's Favorite Flicks. Zilla, this is where I talk about some of my favorite movies because I have too many movies I really like. There are too many movies in my gallery that I really enjoy. And I decided, you know what? I haven't talked about an animated film in a while. I have not talked about an animated film for a while, and I've not really talked much about, if at all, Pokemon. I think the last time I talked about Pokemon was the Team Rocket video, and the time before that, I think the only time I ever talked about Pokemon was when I got into an argument with Coolio Vids. And Shades at Night was in the middle of it. Anyway, so let's talk about something from my childhood. Pokemon, the first movie. Now, picture this. Little old me, and I'm pretty sure a lot of you guys out there who watch Pokemon the first movie too, were like, when you heard that there was going to be a first Pokemon movie, and you were obsessed with Pokemon, you thought it was the coolest shit ever. You thought that this was, Pokemon was life. Pokemon, that's, you eat, breathe, and shit Pokemon. That is all you did. And I talk about games, not actual Pokemon, because they're not real. Although I do imagine that Pokemon would probably taste like, would taste really good with some fava beans and a nice Chianti. Kudos if you got that reference. Anyway, so just picture that. Little old me, and again, a lot of you guys as well out there. When you guys first heard of that there was going to be a Pokemon first movie, your first reaction was, "Oh my god, this is amazing!" And my father took me and my brother, who both of us were obsessed with Pokemon at the time, and of course, my dad did not care at all, but but out of the goodness of his heart, took me and my brother, who were still playing around with Pokemon, we're still playing the Pokemon versions. I think at this time, I had mastered Blue version, and he pretty much mastered Red version, and we were both getting onto Yellow version, or it could have been later than that. I think there's a part of me that says, like, maybe Silver version came. I can't even remember the dates at all, so, yeah. But, yeah, when Pokemon first came out, we were all excited. The movie first came out. And I gotta say, this movie does not hold up in any stretch of the imagination, but I do not care at all. This movie is fun. And even without wearing the nostalgia goggles, even with the nostalgia goggles on or off, you can easily tell, yeah, this is not a great movie, but you don't care. You came to watch animals fight, mythical animals or made-up anime animals beat the shit out of each other, and also see Mewtwo in all of his glory. So, most of you guys know the story is that Mewtwo was genetically altered by Giovanni from the DNA of Mew to become the superior Mew. Ugh. There's a bad taste in my tongue as I said that. But yeah, Mewtwo becomes self-conscious and he's like, why do you do this, Giovanni? And blew up everything, flew off, and then became, I'm gonna go Magneto on your ass. And decided to rid the world of humans and Pokemon and create the Master Clone race. So in some ways, I guess you could say he's like Magneto and Mr. Sinister put together. I guess. And from there, we have our movie where Mewtwo is gathering up all these great all these great Pokemon trainers, and only as a plot to just take their DNA, and then, I'm gonna clone these Pokemon, and my clone Pokemon will rule the world after I create this ultimate storm. And we have our movie. That's literally what it is. We have our movie. Also, can I just say one thing? What were their requirements? Why didn't he pick more trainers? Why did he just pick those Pokemon? Why did he just pick Ash, Brock, Misty, and generic Pokemon trainers 1, 2, 3, 4, 5? Why didn't he go for broke for more? I'm just saying, he should have gotten more. I'm just saying. Also, there's a joke that I still love to this day, where Team Rocket is trying to get on the action, and they help Ash, Misty, and Brock to the island where Mewtwo is, and they're dressed as Vikings, and Misty says, I didn't know Vikings were still around, and Ash says, they mostly live in Minnesota. I feel like the movie should have apologized to all of Minnesota for that joke, but it didn't. I mean, yeah, it makes no sense, because Minnesota, for all geological purposes, should not exist in this universe, but that is a really clever joke. I feel like that's like rimshot worthy. Anywho. So yeah, Ash, alongside Team Rocket, managed to free all the Pokemon, and Ash leads an army of original Pokemon versus clone Pokemon. And outside of Charizard, Venusaur, and Blastoids, you can't tell and also the Meowth clone, you can't tell the other clones apart. You literally, outside of those four, and only because with the Meowth clone it didn't walk upright and it just meowed. It wasn't like Meowth who could talk. It was more like, with the other clones, you could not tell them apart. And then, the whole fight's breaking out, and they're, my brother. The ultimate peace song's playing. You're supposed to feel sad, but you don't care because you're watching the Pokemon beat the shit out of each other while Mew is fighting Mewtwo and shouting, Charles! Not really. He's not really doing that, but it's kind of like that where, Mew's like, don't let the power control you. And, the Phoenix Force and the Force and all that, but that doesn't happen. So yeah, here, and also we get that epic scene where Ash goes, stop, and gets hit by both Mew, and Mewtwo's energy blast gets turned to stone. And this is where I think, and I know there's another reason why he's, he doesn't grow old. I know there's because, again, he's supposed to be like the young adventurer throughout all the regions. He's supposed to be like Trainer Red. I get that. But in my own little head, I kind of imagine Ash became immortal after being hit with those energy beams. He literally became Captain Jack Harkness, in my opinion, right there, at that point. Because think about it. He died, and then through some other means, came back, and now can't grow old. Yeah. Ash is the OG Captain Jack. Except he's not fucking everything. Just saying. Anyway. So yeah, Ash manages to teach peace to everyone. Mewtwo's like, oh, thank you so much, but I'm gonna wipe your memories anyway. Wipe. And they can't remember where they are. Everything's fine, and we have the end of the movie. Yeah. I do love this movie, even though I'm kind of because again, you guys have probably seen this movie. Hell, I'm pretty sure a lot of you guys have probably played the hell out of this on your VHSs. Shit, I forgot the name of that. But yeah, you guys probably rewound this like I did so many times when you got the movie. So many times that the VCR was just like, fuck you, and broke the video. Or you lost it. like I also did, because I got a second copy, and I lost that. Sad face. But yeah, all in all, I really do love Pokemon the first movie. It is nothing but fun, and it's nothing but a lot of fun. There's some great Pokemon action in here. This gives you what you want as a Pokemon fan. And again, if you're a little kid watching that movie, you're probably like, just to remember that time, if you ever saw it in theaters, just think about that. Like, didn't that blow your mind as a kid? Pokemon actually in theaters, and it was like that for the first 3 movies. I remember, I didn't see the Entei movie, the one with Entei and the unknown Pokemon. I didn't see that one in theaters, but I did see this one in Pokemon 2000 in this movie. In theaters, excuse me. I saw those 2 movies in theaters. Now that I think about it, I think I also saw the movie with, where they had, no, that is Pokemon 2000. And I think the 4th movie was in theaters, too. I think the one with... I'm getting confused here, but I definitely know the first 3 Pokemon movies were put in theaters. And, yeah, didn't that blow your mind? Pokemon was on the big screen? I mean, yeah, that was a commonplace thing in Japan, but still, wow. It was kind of like, imagine it... Again, didn't that blow your mind when Battle of Gods got to be on... Dragon Ball Z Battle of Gods got to be on the big screen for a week? Just imagine that, one of your favorite animes on there. It just really blew your mind, didn't it? And I know I've said that multiple times, but yeah, it did. So anyway, I'm just going to stop talking now, and yeah, this was, again, I know this movie is in no way, shape, or form good, especially the crying. Oh my god, let's talk about the crying scene. the crying, where all the Pokemon cry after Ash turns to stone, and Pikachu's like, no, shock, 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 and then all the Pokemon are crying even though they don't know who the fuck this is. They're all crying, and then his tears restore him. We don't know how that works, and I'm convinced he becomes Captain Jack. Does that just kind of ruin it? Like, I know no, really, that scene makes no sense, but you don't care. I mean, I'm not bashing the movie for that, but let's face it, that had no scientific... That wasn't even brought up. Like, everyone was just like, oh, Ash is back. Are we just not going to acknowledge the magical Pokemon tears? Because if that's the case, if Pokemon tears are that powerful, dude, we should be using them to, like, make ourselves immortal, or bring back the dead, or make them ourselves rich, because, motherfucker, I've got the Russian Mafia trying to break my knee, so Pokemon tears, Rapidash, start crying, think of something sad. I'm just saying that's got to be one of the things right there. That is... that has to be, like, a thought process right there. But yeah, I really do love this movie, and yeah, it's just like, it's kind of, and I'm going to steal a little joke from a Nostalgia Critic's review of this movie, where he's like, oh, that moment where it's kind of like watching Mufasa's death, and you're just like, come on, Simba, cry hard, come on, cry, oh, I guess you didn't love your dad so much, he's dead. Yeah, I know, that joke was, I was kind of using a joke from Nostalgia Critic, but it does hit home that, really? We're just gonna go with that, okay? Anyway, so, I've had way too much fun with this video. I do apologize if I went into total weird rantsville, but what can you do? So once again, I hope you guys enjoyed this, and yeah, I will see you guys later.